What's going on, YouTube? It's Q back here again with another video for you. In today's video, I'm here with the 2024 Maserati GranTurismo Modena. And I'd like to give a huge shout out to Maserati for loaning me this for a few days. We got a beautiful monster back here. Let's take a look at it. So Maserati has been making over a lot of their models. So we did the Grecale Trofeo earlier this year, and right now we have the GranTurismo. So this car is a beautiful beast. It's athletic in design, has high craftsmanship with the materials. The design is just stunning, man. This is a sharp vehicle. Sounds amazing. Got a modern infotainment screen in there. The engine is different, so we'll talk about that in just a moment here. But look at this, man. We got a set of staggered wheels. We got 20s in the front, 21s in the rear, and the rear has 295s. So this car is beautiful. We see a lot of design cues from the MC20 coming up front, which makes this car look just so good, man. So what is the GranTurismo like? We're about to get into that in just a moment. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, browse the channel. Let's jump into it. Pricing is going to start at $158,000. That's chump change. But we're about to add some options because we're about to take a huge leap, starting with the paint color. That's called Grigio Cangiante, and that's going to be $29,700. This ain't no regular paint job, though. This car, when I first saw it in the driveway, I thought it was gray. But then when the sunlight hits it, it looks gold. It's got a nice gold flake to it. But then at certain angles, it has like a mint green. So this thing flops like 4 colors. Shout out to Young Joe. But we're not shooting for brothers. We only shooting the Maserati Turismo, the GranTurismo Modena. But this car, man, its paint job is just dynamic. And coming on the dark side with the shadows, I just got to highlight this paint job. Hopefully it shows up on camera. But what I see in real life, this is so dynamic. And it's just mesmerizing to look on. This flake is just hit so hard, especially in the sun. And it just changes color when there's no sun. Just look at that, man. $30,000 paint job. We're going to have a Sona's favorite sound system. That's going to be $4,000. Those blue brake calipers are going to cost you a band. It's $1,000. We got an ADAS full package. That's the safety surround systems, the surround cameras, the blind spot monitoring, and does have some form of autonomy where the car will steer itself. And that package is going to cost $8,300. There's the Tech Assist package, $2,600. Comfort package, $1,470. So that's going to bring the grand total to a whopping $205,000. Let's talk about what's powering the beast. And taking a look at the hood, we see a little bit of aero. I thought somebody had damaged the car at first, but that's just a little bit of aero, ever so subtle on the hood. But let's pop the hood. So easy to pop that thing. The heart of the beast, we have a 3-liter twin-turbo V6. And it's going to be tuned by Nettuno, or should I say detuned by Nettuno, because whoever Nettuno is, they tune the MC20, and that is a more powerful version of this engine. But speaking of engine output, it's going to be 483 horsepower, and we're also going to have 361 pound-feet of torque. Such a lightweight hood. It's crazy how light this hood is. So the curb weight is going to be over 3,900 pounds. It's going to be 0 to 60 of about 3.7 seconds. The transmission of choice is going to be an 8-speed ZF powering all 4 wheels. So you can drive your Maserati during all 4 seasons. This car looks to do the business in the speed department. Top speed is going to be 188 miles an hour. And that's pretty good considering the horsepower. I thought it was more horsepower than what it actually is. But let's start our way from the back and work our way up to the front, where we got this quad exhaust back here. Sounds amazing, especially when shifting gears. Pop the trunk, rubber button up underneath, power trunk. The spacing in the trunk for a car this size is actually pretty good. You got 2 backpacks and fit some other miscellaneous items. We do have a tire inflator kit down below. It is a rather shallow trunk, but you know what you're getting into. Let's go on to the back seat, where there's not a lot to write home about. this back seat is going to be tight. I can't even sit behind myself. It's that tight. Looking over there, we gotta fold the seat up, but looking behind myself, my daughter couldn't even fit behind me. That's like the first time in a while. But getting in here, you just push the seat forward. Well, you don't push it up. Move this handle, the seat's gonna slide forward. But once you're in here, it ain't that bad. We do have a vent where you can change the directions of the airflow. A couple of cup holders back here. Very nice stitching. We got a USB-A, USB-C port. We got a pass in between us to where we can put some skis through here to go all the way through your car. Like I said, it's all-wheel drive, man. We can drive it every day, everywhere, and ski. Got one of those Sona's favorite speakers back here. And with the seat coming back, it's going to slide back. It's power seat. It's not bad at all back here. Burning up because it's about to be 90-something degrees. But I got about a couple finger widths of headroom above me. It's a huge back window. This car lets a lot of sunlight in. We'll see more as we go on the drive on it, but very airy cabin. Visibility is great on here. Out of all the coupes I've driven, this is probably the best for visibility. All right, let's get up out the back seat so we can get in the front and turn the air on. You gotta wait for this seat to slide up. It's a little bit on the slow side, but we got time today. The shark fin antenna. This is gonna be where your camera is for your rear view mirror. This does have 360-degree cameras around here. It's going to be up under the side mirrors, one in the front and one in the rear as well, as they are standard for the rear. The front cabin, you're going to have the highest quality materials all around here. These speaker grills, real metal, don't shred your skin. It's like a cheese grater down here. Got leather stitched door panels, leather stitched upper door panels. Everything is leather stitched. Not this right here, spoke too soon. But even coming across the dash, more leather stitching. We even got this Maserati emblem on the side. Why is that there? Because when you open that door, you want people to see. Since 1914. All right. Maserati on the door sill. These seats, very comfortable, very supportive. Nice bolstering on it, super comfortable. You can even get some thigh lateral movement down there, some thigh support, lateral bolstering. You can, highly customizable seat. We'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna crank this thing up and get the air going. Got another speaker right by the A-pillar. And for this to be the type of car that it is, my gas mileage has been quite well. I've been averaging 18 miles a gallon. I've seen it as high as 19, but I've been driving a little aggressively, testing out sport mode. You got the iconic clock in the middle, which is customizable. You can do a G-force meter, a different clock, brake power meter, all kinds of things like that. And we also have, the only buttons we have on here is the gear selector. Let me turn the air down. Not off though. Oh. So HVAC controls is going to be all touchscreen. I haven't seen that skip a beat yet. Infotainment outside of CarPlay can be a little bit laggy sometimes, but it's not bad. Volume rockers on the side, and coming through here if you want to change that clock, got this button here. Change it to a compass. The pedals, it's going to change it up there. Clock, we can choose a new modern design or the classic one, but I'm going to keep it on sport. Coming across the dash, more leather wrap. And this is just a beige interior, but very nice place to be, very comfortable. We got a wireless charger that works really well, seamlessly. Wood in here, we actually have wood. Haven't seen wood in a long time in the car. Felt line storage compartment there. Armrest. There's going to be more felt line. Got a USB-A, USB-C, DC charger. In this vehicle, something I haven't seen before, we have in this cup holder, I got to take this guy out so I can get my mug in there, because it is for 2 cup holders or for 2 cups, but the size of my travel mug, my Yeti mug, shame if you got a Stanley, Yeti all day, just kidding, but we got to take that out so we can only have 1 cup. And I just store this in the center console, which also doubles if a key battery dies. You put your key fob there, you can start the car. Took me a minute to figure out how to open the glove box. That's a button on the screen right here. Tap that. Soft open. So all the seat customizations, besides sliding it back and forth, that we got the handles or the controls on the side of the seat, we can get some more in-depth, some more intimate controls where you can change the thigh support, the bolstering for the thighs, and the bolstering for your torso. So that's all customizable through the infotainment screen. You got 3 memory settings for the driver and passenger. That digital rearview mirror with the shark fin. To open the trunk, it's a button on this gloss black in the ceiling. Should you forget your drive modes and what they do, we got this vehicle settings where you can go to my car and it'll explain to you what each drive mode does. Now me, see, told you it's a little laggy. I tend to drive in comfort mode that has the softest setting, and it also tells you, it's kind of like an RPG game, tells you the stats on here, how much mana we got, the HP, but it's going to see the efficiency, the comfort, acceleration. So the higher you go up towards sport, the more aggressive the driving is going to be, stiffer in acceleration, responsiveness. But GT is the basic mode where it starts off in, the default mode. In sport, things get more aggressive. Let's spin the block in the Maserati GranTurismo Modena. GoPro decided to take the day off, but no days off, man. So let me let y'all hear this sound system, this very expensive Sonos Faber. Say that's good to great for how pricey it is. It's not the best sound system, not to my liking. I've heard better, but it's good enough. Morning traffic is great. Got y'all on my morning commute out here, y'all. So welcome along. I don't think I did one of these in a while. And we're gonna crank it up to sport mode now, and even put it in manual mode. We're about to hit the expressway. So the screen is pretty clear with all the things that you can choose on here as far as the cluster, miles an hour. Yeah, different information, lane keeping, assist. I just like to keep it on the trip meter to see my miles per gallon and how far I've driven. That's my favorite thing. You can also do navigation up there. Works pretty seamlessly. Come on, kid. You see we in the Maserati. What you doing? Or a Hyundai. Ranger took off, burning rubber. So paddle shifters do not turn when you move the steering wheel. Woo! That's thrilling. Ranger right there. That man crazy. Whoops. Alright, we're gonna put that back in automatic mode. After we done passed. That Ranger is nuts out here, man. I'm gonna put it back in GT mode because we got no reason to speed anymore. We got up to speed. Actually over speed. It's so easy to drive this car over the speed limit. It's wild. But once you get on the highway, the air suspension is going to lower it, so you have better aero. So better aerodynamics, let the air pass through the car, just for better efficiency. After you're going to crank it back to comfort mode, steering on here feels pretty good. It is on the lighter side. Wish it was more feedback, but long gone are the hydraulic steering columns. Like, the steering feel isn't just in a lot of cars today. Let's crank it back up to sport mode, because geez, it just feels like I'm going like 50 miles an hour right now, but I'm doing 70, which is wild. Let's see what it's like to pass. Like a bat out of hell. Alright, there we go. Gotta love those gear changes too. He does a little whoop. So the GranTurismo, the name of the car says exactly what it's for. It's one of those cruisers. You want to take a road trip, it's going to be comfortable, yet athletic and sporty. It's not the most actually it's very comfortable and very sporty. It's a great blend of both. So when you get one of these, you're not out here trying to be the fastest person out there. You're trying to do it in style and be comfortable as well, like the gentleman's car. Wear a suit with this thing, or you can wear you some a polo and some hoochie daddy shorts. It does it both. Dress it up, dress it down. You don't have to be in manual mode to change the gears. You can just do it at will. If it feels it needs the upshift for you, it will do so when the time comes. This morning traffic is ruining the fun. Yeah, so it just shifted into gear because I was trying to wind it out, but just simply go to M if I want to roll through my own gears. All these materials feel great. All of this real metal, paddle shifters, real metal. Even right here. Great car, man. I'm shocked that it costs this much. This is expensive. This car, this is the entry level. You can get the Trofeo version, which cranks it up a notch. And it'll cost you about $191. And then there's the Fulgur, which is the EV version of this car. So that's Maserati's first fully electrified vehicle, 100% electrified. And then we got the MC20 starting at about $240. So pick your battles. This is going to be the more practical. Got the rear seats. That one's just a more all-out supercar. This has got the supercar tuned by the Tuno, detuned by the Tuno, or Netuno. Whoops, my bad. All right, they done parted the seats for us. Kick in the pants feels it's fun, man. I like that. Unfortunately, you can't do that too much. The car is lowering the suspension because we finally getting up to speed. So it dropped itself back into automatic driving mode. Yeah, this would be a great car to take a trip in. Don't you love it when people don't use turn indicators? Now you just look at them. What are you doing? Yeah, look you dead in your eyes. You ain't in the Maserati. You on the tracks. Get back. Curves. My goodness, man, this car is so hard to keep at speed. It's just, it doesn't feel like it's going as fast as it is. Can't stress that enough. Oh yeah, forgot they added the HOV lane. Whoops, no breaking the law, guys. Law-abiding citizen here. They just put the HOV lane here in Michigan on I-75, which we're not that familiar with. I'm not, only when I go to other states. Man, already at speed. Just goes and goes. Let me crank it down so I can go into normal driving mode. GT is fine. Auto stop start on here. The engine turns off. You can disable it by pressing the button right there on the touch screen. It's easy to use this bottom portion. I use it a lot and it's not bad at all. Can we make the light? Sure can. We got the power. What else can I say about the Maserati GranTurismo? Nothing else really to say, man. Great car. Maserati didn't put their sauce on it. That Italian flair that I love so much. So a huge shout out to Maserati once again as I avoid this speed bump. This car sits really low. Not about to tear the front end off. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you to Maserati once again. If you got any questions, shoot me a comment. We'll talk about it down in the comment section below. That's all I got to say about that. Y'all drive safe out here, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.